Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's really nice to see you. Today I have a Kickstarter that came in the mail that I've been waiting on, and I thought it would be fun to do an unboxing and first impressions with you. Let's just hop right in and unbox this, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the deck. The only thing I have done is taken off the address label, but I have not opened this yet. So alright, so we have here the Voynich Tarot and the Voynich Oracle. And this was a Kickstarter that ran maybe a couple of months ago, maybe July, August. And it really caught my attention because on the Kickstarter page, which I will link below in the description just so you can see, the inspiration for these decks came from the elusive Voynich manuscript and codices, a one-of-a-kind mysterious book. The manuscript is most famous for its undeciphered script and strange illustrations. The text is written in a script called Voynichese, I don't know, which has still never been deciphered. And the drawings are of plants and herbs that don't seem to match any known species. There are odd astronomical or cosmological diagrams. There are nude women in bathing pools depicting an unknown, maybe civilization. There are new zodiac symbols or different zodiac symbols than the ones we're familiar with. And the Voynich manuscript and codices are dated to be from the early 15th century, based on radiocarbon dating. And they think it likely originated in Italy during the Italian Renaissance. And the possible creator could be rumored to be Sir Bacon. And it is currently held in the Rare Book and Manuscript Library at Yale University. All of that really sounded super fascinating to me. And I did take a little scan through the images. I think I've stated before that when it comes to Kickstarter, I just try to ensure that the creator seems trustworthy, that most of the art, or if not all of the art, is completed, and all they're wanting is to help get them over the finish line and products out into the world. And otherwise, I might look at a card or two, but I kind of let my gut tell me yes or no. And just alone from that description, it was so fascinating to me, and it's a little different from anything I've ever heard of before. And on top of that, I have nothing like this in my collection. I don't really have any plant-based or fantasy-based decks in my collection. Part of the campaign was that there were some upgrades, I believe, to the boxes. And let me see. You could get some glitchy art prints. The Oracle deck got 10 extra cards, bonus cards. Every deck got this sticker, and the Oracle deck box was upgraded to a flip top with a magnetic closure, and the tarot deck was upgraded to the same. I believe that there are not foiled or gilded edges, and it looks like the campaign did not reach fundage for a physical copy of the guidebook. I think both are available by scanning this QR code. So let's just get the outer packaging off of these and we'll hop right in. So we'll turn them over. So it says, the Voynich Tarot is a 78-card divination deck based off the traditional RWS system. Illustrations are inspired by the elusive historical Voynich manuscript. And the Oracle, it says the Voynich Oracle deck is a 60-card divination deck, which, holy cow, that's a lot of cards. So even with if we hadn't unlocked the 10 cards, this was originally going to be a 50-card deck, which is fantastic. And it says, enter a world of beauty and ancient secrets. Each card features intricate floral illustrations echoing the manuscript's enigmatic charm. Designed for all levels, this deck offers intuitive insights and wisdom through its symbolic imagery. Illustrations are inspired by the historical enigmatic Voynich manuscript. Very beautiful. I like the little emblem here. And the tarot has it as well. And I like that because it looks like Pixie's flower, just changed the middle a little bit. And then I have this little sticker. I'm so excited. So let us start with the tarot. Here's the inside of the box. It is a little stiff feeling, but I like to break things in, so if that makes you cringy, then I'm sorry. Very nice. Plain inside. It feels very sturdy. We have the backs here. Very nice. Reversible. The cardstock. Okay. The cardstock is very cardboardy and papery, but I don't know. I feel I feel a little let down by the cardstock, but we'll see. We'll see how well it wears. I can just tell it's a thinner GSM. I don't know if it says anywhere. I can't find anywhere on the campaign that it lists anything about the cardstock. I'm sure it's there. I'm just not looking. But yeah, it's very cardboardy, papery feeling. So we'll see how that wears. It is not edged in anything, which I think is fine. It is a thinner cardstock, but that allows for flexibility. But I would say in feeling this, yeah, you don't want to be too forceful with it. It doesn't look like it snaps back, so I'm not sure if there is a core in this or not. Feeling it this way, there is a lip that seems to be felt on the face of the cards. So I don't know, that might bother me. I don't know. So let's just do a flip through here. There is a digital guidebook. So after the flip through, I will pull a card and we'll scan the QR code and we'll read from the digital guidebook. Okay, so as you can see, it's very minimal. There are only an instance of people in a couple of the majors. So we have the Lovers and the Chariot, and I believe that was it for people being depicted. And the Hangman. The Devil, kind of. So all the rest of them are very plant herb focused. And I mean, at least me, I am going to need the guidebook for sure, because I have no idea like what this is or what's going on. And I will say that that's kind of the point of the manuscript, is it's kind of nonsensical and people cannot decipher it still, so it is still a big mystery. Aside from that, some other things to note. So it looks as if these were scanned in, and then some of them had some, some elements added, some design elements added, like this lightning bolt, these stars, and this like sun face here. I think that very much detracts from, I mean, not every card has that, a drawing or a design element added. I think that's very distracting to me. I don't like it, and I think I don't want to say cheapens the original like manuscript image that's going on, but I think it does. I don't think it adds anything that, I mean, yeah, I just don't think it adds anything. I don't really like that choice. I'd rather it just have been blank, or at least if you're going to add these, add them to every card, because then they would have been, I think, more tied to RWS more obviously than, you know, this is the Eight of Seeds. And other than the fact that we have the thing here that you know, the minors are all renamed, so I mean the pentacle here up here helps, as does for the swords, wands, and then the cups. Otherwise, I mean, I wouldn't put fungi as cups, but maybe I need to dig into why that is. My brain won't associate those. For me, fungi is more pentacle-ish, but anyway, yeah, I just think that you should have done this on all or none. I do like that they're color-coded and that this is here, because without, yeah, like I said, I wouldn't know what suit it really is. Herbs maybe is more pentacle too, so I don't know. I think I would have had, obviously I would have had a hard time just knowing what they are without this on each card. I would have had to pull out the guidebook all the time. And because it's digital, that workflow usually doesn't work well for me, so we'll see how this does, because I'm going to need the guidebook for this. Some other things to note, the court cards are vastly different. So here we have our page, knight, queen, and our king. But in this deck, they are librarian, alchemist, gardener, and architect, which I do think fits and makes sense for the court cards. There were several cards here that I pulled out separately that are, the quality of the image is blurry. Luckily, I mean, I wasn't really focusing too hard on that, but it seemed to be not as many of those. I think the majority of them are actually pretty clear. So there's that. Let's give this a shuffle test. Okay, so I think it shuffles just fine. It is going to bow, as you can see, and that is why I think, I haven't addressed this ever before, but that's why when I riffle for some decks, and I just applied this to my method of shuffling, but I shuffle with the card face down, and the backs up, and then I switch it to the backs are down and the face is up, which most times, doing the reverse way, it actually is a little bit more clumpy of a shuffle, and that's because sometimes the cards do have like an edge, which this one definitely does. You can physically feel a lip here. It's not smooth when you get to the edge. I don't know how else to explain that, but and sometimes when you do the reverse shuffling, it does make it more clumpy. Yeah. So I can definitely tell that riffle shuffling might not be the best for this deck because the cardstock is not that great of quality, but overhand it does just fine. That's user error. I think instead of an upgraded box, I would have preferred upgraded cardstock. That's just my initial opinion. This is the kind of, I don't know if there's some kind of coating on this because it's, I don't want to say it's gloss, it's very high on the satin end, so there is sheen to it, but it is the kind that will, if you have eaten pizza and you didn't wash your hands good enough, or if you're just have extra oil built up, you will be able to see every fingerprint when you touch it and smudges. So just note that. Let's choose a card or have a card pop out so we can reference the guidebook. We'll see how long the guidebook is because I might just end up printing that out to have a physical copy, which is really more of how I need things to be. I'm just a paper, pen, physical book, physical cards kind of person. So let's get back to having a card come out so we can read the guidebook. We have the tower, how fitting. Okay, so I decided to do a screen share here of the guidebook. Let me go back to the title page. So it is 111 pages, so I don't think I'm going to be printing this out anytime soon, but I can bookmark it, which I will do right now. And it is a flip through here. Oh, cool. So digital stickers. Copy and paste into your journal. Very nice. That's cool that they included that. All tarot descriptions are meant for the upright interpretation, no reversed, mostly for brevity, but the cards can be or are assumed to be the opposite meaning of when they are reversed. Okay. And then we have a table of contents. Okay, so this is the Tarot and Oracle in one. And it looks like we have some worksheets and spreads. Okay. So there's no, what do you call it, chapters? How do I get that back up? Open in grid view. Okay, so if you open this in grid view, it looks like that is the easiest way to jump to another section, which isn't completely ideal, but that's where we are. Okay, so how to read Oracle, that's nice. Tarot worksheet, very nice. And then an example. Okay. We have, it says 5-card spread, but it's a 3-card spread. And here's the 5-card spread. How to do a personal reading. 7-card, another 7-card, reading Oracle cards, and a spread. Okay. Nice. Okay. So let's head back to the tarot and showing you side by side here. I can see it. I would have to bring out my copy to do the same, I think, and find comparisons. Okay, so we jump right into the meanings there. Oh, I see. Okay, that introduces the card meanings on the following page. Okay, so there we do get a thumbnail with the RWS as well. Let's go to the tower. Okay, so we have the tower here. Interesting, the mock-up here has a yellow lightning bolt on this side, but the actual card, and I'll insert a picture, has a black one. It's at a different angle and it's more like over here. So that's interesting. There must have been some changes made. Okay, it says Tower. Sudden change, upheaval, disruption, awakening, interpretation. The Tower signifies a sudden and unexpected change that can be both disruptive and enlightening. This card may represent a major life event, such as a job loss, a breakup, or a health scare. While these experiences can be challenging, they can also be catalysts for growth and positive transformation. The Tower urges you to embrace change and see it as an opportunity to change. The Voynich interpretation. Okay, that's really awesome. The Tower signifies sudden change, disruption, and upheaval. It represents unexpected events that shake up the status quo and force you to rebuild. The Tower can be a frightening card, but it also suggests that change, even if painful, can ultimately lead to growth. The Tower card represents sudden, chaotic transformation, but its imagery is shrouded in a web of cryptic symbols, astrological references, and plant like forms that hint at alchemical transformation. It depicts a structure resembling a crumbling tower made of intertwined vines and roots, with unusual celestial symbols orbiting above, suggesting cosmic forces at play. The foundation, filled with tangled lines and runic shapes, emphasizes the hidden nature of the forces causing the tower's collapse. Okay. Hmm. I think that all of that makes perfect sense. I think it relates to the card really well. It looks like there are some design things that are like discrepancies. So, for example, up here, the tower. So, for example, up here, the tower isn't bolded, but the star has some bolding. And again, the moon does, but the sun doesn't. It's not a big deal, but just something that I noticed. Okay, yeah, so let's view the minors here. Fungi, cups represents emotions and relationships or social life. Red for coins, health, wealth, and material world. Herbs or wands represent creativity and growth. Thorns represent strength, challenge, conflicts, and resolutions. And again, it looks like it was cut off a little bit here on the side. So I think as far as like finishing touches, I think could have been a little bit better throughout the production. I think I would have, like I said, rather had updated cardstock versus an updated box. I think when we're using a deck, storage is definitely important, but first I would rather have a deck that could stand the test of time with better cardstock. Not that it isn't usable or doesn't function, just something to be aware of. Also, looks like as we go through the suit of fungi here or cups, there's some definitions for each, which it's about this. I mean, it's pretty standard for what creators do for minors, but the 8 and 9 don't have anything here. So, again, I think production wise, even on the digital guidebook, it could have been a lot better. So, it's a little disheartening to see that there isn't anything here for the 8 and 9. I don't know if it was just forgotten about that they were going to go back to and didn't. I hope that doesn't happen with any of the courts because they are renamed. I wish we had more of an explanation as to why those choices were made. Um, but I don't know. I think the concept overall is really interesting. I like the depictions, but like I said, I don't know if I will use this traditionally as a tarot. And I do think that the Oracle will serve a better purpose because Oracle isn't as um, structured. So, speaking of, let's go and hop into unboxing the Oracle. Okay, so let's move on to the Oracle. And again, the box is a little stiff, but I'm going to bend it. Same design as the tarot. It's just a smaller box because there are less cards by 18, I think. I'm going to grab my little tool here. So the backs are a little different. The background isn't as dark. It is like almost like a grayish greenish kind of muted color. Fully reversible again, which is nice. And it's interesting that in the guidebook they said that they don't do reversed meanings, but they did create the backs to be reversible. So you know, that's kind of nice. It is the same exact cardstock as the tarot. I don't know, we'll see as we get in. I was gonna say, I don't mind an oracle deck that is tarot size. Just for comparison, again, here's the backs from the tarot and the oracle side by side. So these are a little bit more plain, but I think I like them, or I prefer them more. And just to note, yes, they are the same exact size. And for comparison to a tarot card in US Games, it's just a hair skinnier in width here, but the height is the same. So just about standard tarot size. So let's hop right in to the flip through. Okay, so right away I definitely like the oracle a lot better. I like how we have the little frame bits here in the corner, and it frames each card really, really nice. And it makes it look cohesive. I think the font here is really cool. I think it might be a little bit tough for some people to read, but overall, I think it gives it some visual texture. I like that we have a keyword and more keywords down below, or a little bit of insight. That makes it helpful for not having to always pull out the digital guidebook if you don't want to. I do think that I set aside a good chunk here of cards that had keywords on them that I've never really seen used before. So along with the Voynich here depictions, which are very unique and have its own set of style, I think that the added like uniqueness of some of the keywords are like, it matches really well. So some of these you don't really see cryptic canvas used in a lot of oracle decks. Esoteric equation, illusory inkwell, like the alliteration, lacuna, lexicon, menagerie, sanctum, spectral scholar, stenography, the cave, unknowable, zodiac cipher. I just thought that those were super unique to this deck. Yeah, so far, first impression of the oracle is I really like it a lot, and I think I will get a lot more use out of this than the tarot in the traditional sense of pulling a card. Again, it is the same exact cardstock as the tarot, so it shuffles much the same. But let us pull a card and we'll go back to the digital guidebook. we have Revelation, receiving a profound message from your subconscious. Let's read about it in the guidebook. Okay, so we have here the Oracle section of the guidebook, which is noted here by this title page. Okay, and then we hop right into the meaning. So, doesn't look like they are in alphabetical order, maybe reverse alphabetical, I don't know. So let's try to find Revelation. I wonder if there was a conscious reason as to why these are grouped together. This makes the guidebook a little bit clumsy to work with, because I don't know exactly the grouping or understand the grouping, unless this is the order in which they finished the card. We're looking for Revelation. I didn't see tarot in there, actually. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't. Did you see tarot in there as a card? I don't think I did. Be interesting to find out. I'll pop up on the screen if it is in the deck. Oh, wait a minute. I did not see our card, Revelation. Did I miss it? I didn't see Voynich Vanguard in there. Web, cryptogram. Definitely didn't see those. Because I feel like this is a card I would have set aside in the unique keywords. This as well. Inventor. This is very interesting. Okay, well, I do apologize. I can't read an entry about Revelation, but let's read one about. Alright, I'm going to close my eyes and flip fast. Okay, Symphony. Drawing the Oracle card Symphony signifies a call to collaboration and unity. It suggests that different parts of your life or even different people around you need to come together in a coordinated way to create something beautiful. Here are some specific interpretations to consider. Balance and harmony. You might be juggling various aspects of your life, and the card reminds you to find a way to make them work together in a balanced and harmonious way. Communication and teamwork, creative expression, inner harmony, and integrating. Oh, wait, and inner harmony. Okay. All right. Sorry about that there wasn't a definition or a reading in the guidebook for Revelation. Off camera, I did go through and I counted to make sure that there were 60 cards here, and there are, but it just isn't matching the guidebook. So I don't know if the link to the guidebook was an old one or what's going on with that, but gosh, this has been a really tough unboxing. I wasn't exactly expecting some of the disappointments that happened, and unfortunately that greatly influences my want to pick up a deck and use it. Sometimes when that happens, it'll sit on the shelf for far longer than I want it to, just because I feel like miffed in a way. I think what I'm going to do is completely ignore the digital guidebook. It doesn't really offer me anything new or insightful that I'm needing. I was really hoping to get more insight into the Voynich piece, because this is what this deck is centered on, but it just isn't there, which is really a letdown. And I think even if I had been fully more attentive to the Kickstarter page, I don't think I would have come away knowing that, because those were promises that were made. Or maybe they weren't made, but it wasn't clearly spelled out, I think. It's something I don't think we would have known until we got it in hand. So as much as I wanted and I was excited for this combo here, the Tarot and the Oracle, they've really let me down quite a bit in different aspects. And it's interesting because the creator was very communicative with us. I mean, I can go through the updates, and they were communicating with us a lot. So I felt that I felt secure in that aspect, but I'm not sure what happened to some of the finishing touches, right? And yes, while I did get a physical like copy of the deck, and that's not ever guaranteed because Kickstarters aren't guaranteed, I would have liked to have at least known what the cardstock was going to be like. Maybe they could have entered a vote into what some of the stretch goals could have been. And I do see some quality things, like this is a brand new card. Let me see if I can. Yeah, so there's like something here, some texture here on the corner. It's like something was imprinted. Yeah, I really dislike being the bearer of, I don't know, not the best news here, but I just think that there could have been attention paid to certain areas that just weren't. If you're going to have a digital guidebook, then it should be completed to the best of its ability. There were missing definitions in there that I showed you. There were oracle cards in there that are not in the physical one in my hand. So that was a bit confusing. I think I can work with the cardstock. That's really like just something I guess I wasn't expecting. I don't know if indie decks have created a certain standard out there now that they have a certain type of cardstock or presentation. But I can work with this cardstock. It's not the worst that I've ever dealt with. It is very smooth to the touch in the hand, so although it is a little bit on the thinner side and cardboardy-ish, it's still a nice to the touch, nice to feel. Again, I really was looking for some more of the Voynich tidbits and pieces of information in here, and I think that's completely lacking. I think all we have are the Voynich imagery here and nothing to really go off of. Not even, I mean, just because they haven't deciphered the codex doesn't mean that people haven't written things about what they think it might be or their thoughts about this particular drawing here of this plant. I just feel like there could have been more because it is a really, really cool concept. I've never seen art like this before. I think that the fact that it comes from like the 15th century is extra fascinating, but they just did not take it over the finish line in the best way. Also, I thought I was going crazy earlier, but this is the same image. Okay, I think I have to leave it there because I'm just really deflated about this. I don't know if this is just they didn't take time in the proofing phase to make sure this wasn't happening. I'm not quite sure. Gosh, I'm really sorry about the tone of this video, guys, but it's my honest and raw thoughts. And if you got this deck or these decks, let me know your thoughts. Did you notice any of these discrepancies? Are you liking it? How are you using it? How are you incorporating this into your practice? Please let me know. I would like to hear it. And please give me a like and subscribe. Stay around a while. I would really enjoy it if you joined my little community here that I have, my little corner of YouTube. And until next time, see you around.